triangle is a figure with 3 sides and 3 angles. Just like we had a symbol for angle, which was this, right? We have a symbol for triangle. It looks like a triangle. I know. So, every triangle has at least 2 acute angles. So all the triangles have 3 angles, and 2 of them are always acute. Sometimes 3, but always 2 acute angles. So in order to classify means name a triangle by its angles, you have to look at the largest angle. You can't just look at one angle because 2 of them are going to be acute. You always have to look at the biggest one. So for example, again, classify means you're going to name the triangle. And there are a couple ways. You could name the triangle based on what its angles look like, but you can also name the triangle based on what its sides look like. So every triangle gets 2 names, like you have a first and a last name, okay? So if you look at each of these, that's smaller than 90, that's smaller than 90, that's smaller than 90. When all 3 angles are acute, we call it an acute triangle. Doesn't seem like rocket science there, okay? Look at this one. Here's an acute angle. Here's an acute angle. This one has a box on it telling me it's a right angle. Since the largest angle is a right angle, we call it a right triangle. Math just makes so much sense. No, it does, really. Okay, so again, here's smaller than 90. Here's an acute angle. This one is larger than 90. It's an obtuse angle. We call this an obtuse triangle. Okay? If we look at this, so every triangle gets one of those names, acute, right, or obtuse. If we look at the sides, we look to see if any of them are the same measure or if they're different. This is telling us there's no congruent sides. We can't tell just by looking at it. They look different, but you might think this one and this one are the same, right? It's hard to tell. So we use hash marks. Is that what we use? Is that what they call them? Tick marks or hash marks to determine, to show if they're the same or not. So this side, I'm going to give 1 tick mark to. But this side's different, so I can't give it 1. I'm going to give it 2. And the bottom side, AJ, is different than either of those. So I can't give it 1 because that says these 2 are the same. And I can't give it 2 because that says these 2 are the same. So I'm going to give it 3. So each side has a different number of tick marks, and that means they're all different. Anyone know what we call this? Oh, we know this. What do we call it, Abby? Nope. I know Jack knows. Leah. It's a scalene. I'm sorry, Jack. I know. Scalene triangle. Scaly. Ugly. Scales. Scalene. All right? This one has 2 congruent sides. It has 1 hash mark here and 1 hash mark here, telling me that those 2 are the same. I can leave the third with nothing, or I could put 2 down here to show that that's different. Easton, what do we call this one? This one is isosceles. It has 2 S's, 2 E's, and 2 equal sides. And all 3 sides are the same. That means they're all equal. It's called, Wyatt? What?
I had a question about.
Oh, what?
Could you put like
Down here? Sure.
Oh,
But these 2 have to match, or the 2 equal sides have to match. I want you, this is equilateral. I want you to attempt the lesson 4 homework.
That is not fair.
I think I spelled this wrong.
That is not fair.
Oh, it's fair.
She said try.